Welcome back to From the Shack podcast. I'm Steve, here with Deck. This is episode 2.
Ep 2.
Ep 2 after, which I think I'm pretty pleased with episode 1.
Yeah.
It went pretty well. We didn't sound like total idiots.
No, a few too many for me, but I mean, I'll get there.
That was good. Welcome back. We've got a few things to talk about this episode. I think one of them is mainly the pop-up that we did at the weekend in Altrincham.
Weekend, yeah.
I'll go more into detail in a moment. We've also got something pretty exciting for you guys anyway at the end of the podcast, so stay tuned to the end. Make sure you listen all the way through. It does help us. And also, wherever you're listening to your podcast, if you can rate us, so if it's on Spotify or...
Yeah, give us any tips, like if you want anything like you want to talk about or anything like that, just
leave comments and
let us know,
yeah, and we can we can see what we can do. But episode 2, it's come around pretty quick. Deck is going away on holiday soon, so we're going to get this one in, hopefully episode 3.
Yeah, school holidays, innit?
Yeah, that's coming around quick as well.
Can't wait.
So if you've not listened before, I'm Steve, live in Manchester, Altrincham in Greater Manchester, and love to barbecue and grill. Deck is the #1 Kamado ambassador.
In the UK.
That's going to be your new tagline, mate. Number one. Number one KJ ambassador.
Number one KJ ambassador in the UK.
Yeah, and we both met in this community and we just like to talk about food and eating and grilling and
barbecuing
and everything in between, and we've done a few pop-ups together.
Yep.
We kind of decided that one of the good topics for this week would be to discuss the pop-up, like I say, that we did at the weekend.
Good, bad.
Yeah, what's good about it, what's bad about it, talk about what goes into it, because I think that's probably the biggest sort of shot to the system when you decide to do it.
Yeah, and again, and just to be honest, what we've been up to past couple of weeks, there's, what we've been cooking for the last few weeks.
Yeah. So in between the last pod and this one, excluding what we did at the weekend, I think we'll probably do this most weeks to discuss what we've been cooking. Yeah,
just discuss what we've been cooking. Yeah. So
it doesn't have to be barbecue, although I'd say 95% of the time it will be barbecue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've done smash burgers pretty much this week, and thoroughly enjoyed them. Everyone in the family loves them. Yeah, I love making them.
I like the onion rings on the top. I did. Yeah. To be honest, it sort of influenced me to make some maybe Friday. But I feel like I'm going to do some bacon wrapped onion rings.
Very nice.
Maybe glaze them with a bit of barbecue sauce.
That does sound very nice.
Don't know what I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a double or a single.
So when you bacon wrap them, no batter, just bacon around the onion rings.
Sometimes it's a bit of a pain trying to keep them whole when you cut them.
Yeah.
If you're a bit heavy-handed like myself.
And I think what I noticed, because I've done a lot of onion rings, because we used to do them. They still are there at the Pig and Pitch. I'm represented, by the way. I've got Pig and Pitch t-shirt on. We done homemade beer battered onion rings, and they were a faff to do during service. Absolutely nightmare, because you're battering them to order.
Yeah,
and it gets everywhere. But
is there any way you can sort of prep that in advance or anything?
I always wanted to try it. I just never had the time. So I always kind of thought, sort of just like you do when you blanch chips. If I could fry them just so that the batter sets, but it's not cooked. But then I don't know if it would carry on rising
and go a bit
and going crunchy. But I never tried it. I'll have to try it. If anyone's listening who's tried it, do let us know.
Yeah, that was none.
But yeah, I do like my onions. I've had a weird thing. So when talking about burgers, because we cooked so many burgers over the weekend, and I was cooking smash burgers, because that's when I asked my kids what do you want for your dinner, that's all they asked for.
Smash burgers.
I started having mad thoughts about just trying to switch it up a little bit, and do different kind of burgers. And I had this thought and I can't get it out of my head. And it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be absolute tosh. Yeah. A peanut butter and jelly smash burger.
I've seen that before.
And instead of the jelly, what I want to use is chili jam. And then obviously I want a crunchy peanut butter. But because I'm going with down the chili route and it's going to have a bit of heat to it, instead of just putting peanut butter on it, I used to do it like a satay sauce for chicken skewers.
I like that.
And put sweet chili sauce in with the... used to do sweet chili sauce. I got it from one of the Hairy Bikers books.
Okay.
And it's delicious. And all you do is you mix crunchy peanut butter, sweet chili sauce,
coconut,
and a little bit of boiling water.
Oh, really?
And that's it. Just mix it till you get the consistency you want, and it's delicious.
I think it'd be good, that.
I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to give it a go.
To be fair, after the pop-up, I did actually make smash burgers myself because, to be honest, I got in and I really couldn't be bothered cooking, and the Blackstone was just there. I know it's gas-like, but...
They're easy as well.
I mean, it was just there, so I banged it on. I had a bit of an issue, though, to be honest. I didn't have any plastic cheese. I know we had loads at the pop-up as well, and I didn't have any plastic cheese. So I just cut some cheese and just a block.
Yeah.
And laid it on, just like cheddar. However, what I found was, I couldn't taste the burger sauce. It overpowered the whole burger. I think, I've had plastic cheese on burgers for so long that I can't remember the last time that I've not done it. And I did it, and it was just, the cheese overpowered the burger so much to the point I couldn't taste the burger sauce. Now, I always think with stuff like burgers and sandwiches, yes, the meat's an important part. However, sauces do make it. Yeah. And I just thought, I'm just getting a really strong cheese flavour.
I know what you mean.
It was good still, but
I think because I was watching. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if it's a new series or if it's an old series. It was just on when I was flicking through on my Fire Stick at home. It popped up, and it's Tom Kerridge, and he's at his pub in Marlow. Is it
Marlow? Yeah.
And the burger that he does. Have you seen it? It's like it's dead tall.
They do different things.
Dead small.
There's a few restaurants in the Butcher's Tap
and he puts cheddar on his, but he puts it on the patty and then puts it in it's not in an oven, it's in like a griller, and most of it melted off, so there wasn't loads of it left, so maybe it was just a little bit too thick.
Maybe. It was okay though. It was okay. I prefer plastic cheese.
It's got to be plastic cheese on it. It turns into cheese sauce. That's the good thing about it.
For me, that's it. It's just plastic cheese is the one. Yeah. So I did that. What else have I done this week? I did a black garlic shawarma.
Yes.
A black garlic shawarma from the Cheshire Butcher.
Yeah.
My dad. So he brought me one home. And said, "Have a go with that. See what you think." It was pretty good. Pretty good. I did it with a flatbread and some Firefly Korean barbecue sauce.
Uh-huh.
I had a bit of that with some lettuce, some onions.
So was it chicken thigh or breast?
Chicken thigh.
The best.
Just layered. Chicken thigh, layered on the skewer, onion on the bottom, lemon on the top, and cooked it for roughly an hour in the barbecue. Yeah. I just sat it in one of the Kamado Joe kidney pans. So I sat it in that, brought the barbecue up to temp, sat it in that, and just went and just sat and chilled out for an hour. And then when it was done, toasted a couple of flatbreads, sliced it off, and away you go. It's quite an easy tea. Do you know what? I like an easy tea for in the week, I think that's the thing. I'm still using barbecue.
Yeah, a lot of people think of when you say like barbecue, they think, oh, it's a faff. You got to light it, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. Not really. Once you light it, you can just walk away and leave it to get up to heat.
I genuinely it's the same as putting your oven on, because you've got to wait for your oven to heat up. Yeah. And being an electrician myself, I actually calculated the cost of the charcoal versus the cost of the oven. It's actually cheaper for me to use the barbecue.
I can believe it, yeah.
Rather than turn my oven on. So, saving the planet.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That's probably the first thing that comes from people whenever I speak to them about cooking. I say, do it on a barbecue. Oh, it's a faff, I can't be bothered. I didn't have time. Like, if you light your oven, if you're going to use your oven, you light your oven, you've got to wait for it to heat up. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah. And then this week, I can't think what else I've had this week. The missus cooked last night. She cooked cannelloni. It was really nice. Could it be better on the barbecue? Probably not. It's probably one of them things that I don't think it's going to benefit. Yeah. There's a few things where I've cooked it on the barbecue and it looks great for like Instagram. However, I sit there and think, it's a fucking waste of time, this.
I think that's one of the things you will get from us. I don't as much as we are huge fans of open fire cooking, smoking, barbecuing in general. We're not fanboys of it. We're not going to
I'm not doing it just for the sake of it.
We're not going to say it's good.
I will try it. I like trying stuff that people don't do on the barbecue. I like trying different things on the barbecue that no one's ever done and go, oh, wow, he's done that on the barbecue. But I will say if it was worth it or not.
Yeah. So
certain things.
Some things are not worth it.
As I said, it's probably worth it because it's probably cheaper than putting my oven on. However, I wouldn't have added anything, I don't think.
I always feel a bit like that with things like curries.
Yeah, I do curries on the barbecue sometimes, but it's a waste of time.
That's what I think. What am I gaining?
You're not. You don't get anything. I do it.
Don't get me wrong. Well, if you char grilling like your chicken first to go in it.
Well, I always would char grill. I'd always char grill my chicken first on the barbecue. But I do a lot of like the BIR style where you have to make the gravy. So I'd make the gravy. For me, I try and do it exactly the same as curry house. So I would make the gravy. You cook it for like an hour and a half and then blend it up, and then it roughly does 14 sort of vac packs, and it's enough for like a ladle and a half, and that's enough for one curry. And then I'll do a big batch of chicken tikka on the barbecue, 2 kilo, freeze that into like 6 pieces, and then basically I've got enough for like 15 curries, and then all I'll do is take it out of the freezer and assemble. You can do it in like 10 minutes. It's as quick as going to the takeaway. I've done it several times on the barbecue. Just not sure if it adds anything to it. And to be honest, I always nearly like burn my hands off because like once you've got that lid open, the flames are coming up. Don't get me wrong, you do need that hot heat, but I think you can achieve that with like a gas hob.
Yeah. I always think that with curries. I do like the char grilled flavour, but then it's how much does that come through when it's in the curry, really?
It doesn't. I don't. Well, I don't think it does. However, recently I did a full English breakfast on the Blackstone. And it was the easiest full English breakfast I've ever done. Easier than cooking it in the house. So it would, because in reality it's just a huge pan.
Well, that's the thing, I think, isn't it? Like, the thing with when you're making a full English, it's how much space have you got in your pan, and you've got to think,
exactly.
I'll cook that first and I'll cook that. Whereas if you've got that full area.
Yeah, it was really easy. For me, it was just so simple. So we cooked it. However, I was eating it, and I never got any real smoky flavour. So it was literally as if I'd cooked it in the inside. Whereas I've done it on the Kamado Joe plancha, which is quite similar. You still get that real smoky flavour, and if you think about it, you only have got a small rim around the outside and a small hole at the front where the smoke can actually get through, but it actually really does make a difference. So I think I'd have to do a side by side, and then you'd get the real. You'd understand whether it was worth it or not, but I don't really think it's worth it.
I've done breakfast on about. If I woke up tomorrow and was going to do a full English and it was peeing down, I wouldn't do it on the barbecue. But if it was summertime, I'd just do it on the barbecue because you're outside.
I love sitting outside in the morning. I've put something on, like a brisket or something, and I'm sat there with a coffee, just sat outside in like lovely summer morning, and just sit there with a coffee, with the barbecue chugging away, just chilling out. I love that. I absolutely love that. No one else, when all the kids aren't even up yet. It's banging, to be fair.
Well, I'm convinced. Because they say, don't they, like stuff like that. Being outside in general and barbecuing is supposed to be really good for your mental health. I think it is. It does help me. Like, it chills me out. I just think it's that primal thing of being outside.
Yeah, I do.
Messing around the fire and cooking meat. I think it's in us, isn't it, to do it. So if I get the chance to do it, I do it. But like I say, there are dishes, and we will. So no doubt, as it gets colder and wetter in Manchester. And you've got a shack, so you're all right. I might not get a chance to get out, so I might be talking about things that I've done in the house, and we're not afraid of just talking about recipes that we're cooking indoors as well. We are mainly a barbecue channel, but we will talk about cooking.
I do it for you. I cook inside sometimes.
Yeah,
there's no issues with that.
The best thing for me about cooking outside is not having to clean up in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, I love that about the shack, because again, especially when you're doing stuff like pizzas and stuff. The clean up with your semolina and your flour, the clean up is always, no matter what, however tidy of a cook you are, there's always flour on the floor.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Whatever you're cooking, if it's like meat or anything like that, all you do is just whack the barbecue up, full blast, leave it on for 20 minutes, then just let it shut down and give it a look down. Away you go.
It's funny you should say about curries, because on Monday night I had a satay curry out the freezer that I'd cooked a while back, and I'd froze all the leftovers, so I just got some microwave rice, just some coriander, microwave rice, and this bloody satay curry, and it was banging. Yeah, it was banging, to be fair. Like, just as good as the day that I cooked it sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I think I put a little bit too much soy in it because it was a little bit darker than I'd like, but I mean it was still good.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, it still tasted good.
Yeah. It's funny because we've been discussing. We'll go over what we were doing at the weekend shortly, but I think over the weekend and since the weekend, me and you have been talking a lot about holding things, freezing foods, reheating them, how to get them to stand up quality-wise to how they were when they were freshly cooked.
Yeah.
And I had, we did, or should I say, you cooked it, the beef feather blade that we had at the weekend, which is stunning, went down an absolute treat.
It did go down well.
And we had a couple of portions left, which I took some home and decked
up. Probably 3 each, didn't we? I think 3 each.
Mine's gone.
3 bags. Mine's in the freezer.
I froze it and then we had it the next day.
I was sick of seeing it, to be honest.
It was frozen, reheated in the sous vide, and it was as good as it was what we were serving over the weekend.
I've just said then that I'm sick of seeing it. I've just volunteered to cook feather blades for work dinner Monday. So I don't know. Say I'm sick of it, but again, I'll be there Sunday night all night.
Well, I wouldn't have had it. So on Sunday when we finished, I wouldn't have been able to have it. I think it's because we're just there and we're serving it and we're smelling it.
Yeah.
I used to get that in the restaurant. I think I've said this before. I might have said it in the last pod, actually. I can't remember what conversations we've had that many. Beef ribs are my favourite thing to smoke. Love them. But because we had them at the restaurant and I was cooking them day in, day out, and I don't know, I just went, I didn't go off them, I just never fancied them. I would still say they're still my favourite, but I think it's just because you're smelling like that beefy smell, you're just like, oh.
Can we not tempt you onto the feather blade side now, like?
Hey, the feather blade's really good, but I still have beef. I mean, I did that beef rib pastrami dinner a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
honestly, mate, it was one of the nicest things I've ever tasted. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, for me, I love pastrami. I just hate the cure inside of it. I mean, every time I've done it, I've got my butcher or my dad to cure it for me. Dad, can you cure me a piece of flat brisket? Or Liam from the catering butcher cured me a piece. So it just, to be honest, that makes it a little bit easier for me because there's no issue with smoking it. You know, once you've got the hang of temp controls, smoking's easy.
Yeah,
it's more the pissing about with the
curing
and for me it was the space as well. Like my missus will go mad if I start filling the fridge with I'm curing all different types of meats.
I just don't tell mine.
Well, I mean,
the fridge and the stuff in there.
We're getting to that point really. We're getting to the colder weather now. I'm going to start curing my own bacon. I'm doing it. Bacon. I'm going to be doing bacon. I want to start cold smoking again because I did it back end of last year. I got into it a little bit. I wouldn't say like massively into it, but I got into it a little bit and started doing like nuts, cheeses, salts, and the bacon. The bacon for me was
best.
It was the best bacon I had. Yeah. It was. I think it was Pro Smoke. Is it Pro Smoke or Pro Q? One of them. They do their own. They do their own bacon rub.
Like a curing kit type thing.
Yeah, they just like a curing salt.
Yeah.
And you get like enough for 1.5 loin of bacon, a loin of pork, and you just go for it. Really, my favourite was rosemary and thyme. Did a rosemary and thyme bacon cure.
Well, let's have a play with it. I did them bacon ribs.
Yeah, I took some of them home, didn't I?
Yeah, and I really enjoyed them.
I did. There was so much meat on them. I had 2 of them myself, and I just thought this is far too much for one person. But I mean, I still ate it.
It was really good. I got the idea. I mean, it wasn't my idea. You know, I got it off the Leroy and Lewis, which is a tongue twister to say when you're British. Off their YouTube channel, and they just looked amazing. So I thought I'm going to give that a go. Liam hooked me up with some bacon ribs when I went down to make the hot links. And I cured them. What cure them in now? Brown sugar, kosher salt, and a little bit of curing salt for 5 days. It's a bit of a faff because you got to keep turning them because it's a dry cure. So you got to keep. Yeah,
well, you'd have to do that with the bacon. Yeah. It was a dry cure that I used, and every day you had to turn it.
Yeah, you just got to keep turning it, and then you got to make sure you wash it all off.
Yeah, the same.
And then I smoked it to, I think it was about 75 centigrade. Took them off, let them cool in the fridge overnight. So it's a lot of steps to get.
Yeah, it's a long process.
And they were delicious. And they're not like arduous steps. It's just if you plan ahead, it's not too bad. But
You've
then
got to be into it to do that.
Then when I cooked them again in brown sugar, pepper and garlic granules, and I made that drizzle
The drizzle.
It's mega.
What did you cook them to the second time? What temperature though?
90.
So you cook it to 75 and then to 90?
Yeah.
That's a weird step, isn't it?
Yeah, cooked them to 90. But yeah, Liam gave me so it was. So
by the time I had it was third cook, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it was still good, right?
It was banging.
It was skin off pork belly, bone-in pork belly. That's what you want. But you want to, if you get them from your butcher, if you're anywhere around Stoke or Staffordshire or even Manchester to deliver there and you get them off Liam, he'll know what you want. But if you go into your butcher, you need to tell them what you're doing. Don't just ask for bone-in pork belly. They have to be cut a certain way. They're almost like a St. Louis style cut.
So I've seen a few people over the last couple of weeks doing pork belly brisket.
Yes.
So it's almost in the style of a brisket.
Mm.
I might have a go with that.
Yeah.
Because I like the look of it.
Yeah. There's quite a few. I love pork belly anyway.
I might just do it.
I love it. We, again...
My missus don't like it. She says it's too fatty.
At the Pig and Pitchfork, we'd smoke it, do like a Korean style. So we had a Korean style rub. I'd brine it first in like a soy sauce, water, chilies, overnight.
What, no salt because of the salt in the soy?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
No salt. It was a wet brine anyway, so just wet brine. Just let it soak up and it goes like really dark in colour and it just looks really nice. And then we'd smoke it to 70 degrees, wrap it in a foil boat, leave the top open because we wanted that to go all nice and gnarly and crispy. And then back up to 90, then just let it cool and have it the next day. Slice it, put it on a hot plate.
So that's
like
one
char-siu
method.
Sauce. It's delicious, man.
That's so one method I haven't really used is the foil boat. I see people get quite good results.
It's just to keep the back, really.
But do you not think you get that with the butcher's paper?
Yeah.
Because it gets it breathe, so there's a reason why people use butcher's paper and not foil. Everyone uses foil. If you use foil, you can see, you can tell, I think, if you use foil.
Yeah.
It's almost like a brown colour.
Yeah.
It doesn't colour as well.
It's like a bit sloppy in it as well. It doesn't.
However, it's always, you sort of get the juice then, though.
Yeah.
It's juicier if doing it that way.
I like either or. I don't mind it when the bark. I like when the bark's like crisp and chewy. I like that. I like that a
bit of texture.
But if it's not the end of the world for me. As
Yeah,
long as
I'm
the
not.
flavour's there,
Yeah.
I'm not that fussed. Because by the time, depending on how you're eating it, if you're eating it by the slice, maybe that's different. But if you're putting it on like what we had the other day, where it's on a brioche with different sauces and the chimichurri and all that, it's almost wet anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But pork belly's a good one. Just, you know what?
Much to do with it. I've done like pork belly burnt ends, char-siu style. I've used a char-siu rub, and then I put like some Korean barbecue sauce or even just a normal barbecue sauce. So it's almost like barbecue but with them Chinese flavours.
Yeah.
I mean, I love stuff like that with just some simply just with like egg fried rice and just a few of them. It's just
I could just eat on its own, just with just like a salad, like a
you just
like
say a salad.
Asian inspired salad, bit of spring onion.
You just say a salad, yeah.
Salad.
You did just say a salad on the barbecue podcast, did you?
I was thinking, what have we done, eh? What have we done? I forgot that's a swear word. When I say salad, you know what I mean? Nice salad.
A few greens, like.
But pork belly burnt ends, I've only ever made them probably in my life 4 times. I don't know, I just never...
I just think it's easy. We used to do them on Comedo Joe pop-ups, just like demos. We'd always do them.
I love them, don't get me wrong. I just never
Everyone... To be honest, it's almost like a crowd pleaser. Every time someone has them, they're so fatty and succulent and juicy. Everyone who has them loves them, sort of thing. So whenever we did a demo, we would always do pork belly burnt ends. We'd always do like a roast because again, it's a showcase, stuff like that.
Yeah. But so that's now got me thinking. We're talking about what we've cooked over the last few weeks. I think I'm going to do some more pork. I'm thinking about a pork loin. I did a roast in a pork loin on the barbecue a few weeks ago.
I see, yeah.
And it was mega. It was mega. They got, again, not my idea. I'm just going around stealing people's ideas. I've seen it on Wilson's barbecue, and it looked bob on. And it was a really cheap cut of pork from like Tesco, and it was honestly one of the nicest pieces of pork I've ever had. It was unbelievable. So I highly recommend that. Go and check that video out on Wilson's Barbecue. A big shout out to Wilson's Barbecue, fighting the good fight and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's what we've been up to. Have you got any plans for the coming weeks? I know you're going away.
Not really. I've got, as I said, I'm gonna cook the feather blade for work. Yeah, I'm gonna have that Monday for work, so I'm gonna hot hold it. Now, I've got a bit of a dilemma really, because when I offered to do it, there was like only a few people in the office, and then now it's like, I think I'm up to about 12, so I'm sort of in between like one feather blade or two.
I think you got to go 2 to play it safe.
We have, but then I was thinking, do I just do one feather blade? And then everyone was saying, what about hot links? So I might do some charred Fuco hot links.
Yeah.
So I might do like 4 or 5 hot links as well as a feather.
Yeah, that's a shout.
That'll feed, 10 or 12 people. Like.
Yeah, well, the hot links are, I mean, I'm biased anyway.
Yeah.
But I thought they're delicious. But
one of my favourites for the weekend.
We got a lot of good feedback.
I mean, I scrammed about 3 on that Saturday morning. I was just like, these are amazing.
You're like,
we're supposed to be selling these. This one has to go in my stomach.
But yeah, again, another big shout out to Liam from Catering Butcher. He's getting a lot of shout outs in this episode.
Yes.
Look, he's a nice guy. But yeah, I went and spent an afternoon with Liam. I had this idea of wanting. I've always wanted to do hot links anyway, and I think the way we serve them works.
Yeah. Well, this is part of prep for.
Yeah. So
pop-up prep, really.
Should we go into that?
I think so.
Then?
I think so. I think we just. Well, I think naturally now we just might as well go into it.
Well, all right. Well, let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's take you way back.
Way back.
So when I first decided to take a leap into the world of cooking, it always sounds weird when I say it, and I sound like me up my own backside. Cooking professionally. When I decided to, see if I could do it, see if I wanted to do it, I got some experience in different kitchens, and one of the kitchens was a place called the Call Myself Sanchez, which is like a little gourmet burger place in a little spot in Altrincham called King's Court, which is a really cool.
Loads of bars there.
Yeah, it's cool. So you've got.
I'd love to walk down and have a drink there. I mean, obviously, I don't live in Altrincham, but in the summer, I would love to walk down. Yeah. Imagine walking down, having a few beers in there. That'd be great. I think I said it at the weekend. You can't just nip in there for one beer in the summer. I can imagine.
You're in there all night. So it's basically there's a pub which, if you're from the area, you'll know, the Cheshire Tap, which is on like the main high street in Altrincham, and there's a little ginnel at the side, and it's kind of like oldie worldy, isn't it? Like you're sort of expecting either Harry Potter to jump out or Jack the Ripper or something.
Diagon Alley vibes.
Yeah.
Diagon Alley.
Yeah, so it's you've got the Cheshire Tap, which is right on the high street, and then there's a little ginnel at the side. So you can either go down the ginnel at the side, or you can walk straight through the pub and get a pint en route to King's Court. And as it opens out into this little courtyard area that's got like a lot of like pub picnic table style things, and it's all covered. So even if the weather's not great, it's mostly covered. It's like 80% covered.
Yeah.
But in that courtyard, there's like a gin bar, there's a little sports bar, there's a craft beer bar, and then there's also a venue that you can hire out for parties and things. But it's all enclosed. It all feels really snug and private.
With just the one food venue.
One little window.
Window.
And that is where. Because I'm from Altrincham, and that's kind of where I used to drink, or still drink now and again when I get out, which is very rare these days. But I kind of not knew them, but knew them to speak to. And at the time, I was doing a local radio show, a fortnightly radio show, where I'd go and do half an hour or an hour little show, and it would either be talking about a recipe that I'd cooked at home or interviewing local food businesses and stuff like that.
So this podcast should just like come naturally to you.
Yeah, it should do. It's just weird that it doesn't. But so I went and I just sort of said to them, like, on the off chance, said, look, if you ever want a hand, I'm looking for experience. I want to work in a kitchen. I've never worked in a professional kitchen. They were like, yeah, sweet. Snap my hand off for it, because obviously hospitality.
Free labour.
Well, it wasn't free. I got paid, which was nice. But I went and learnt loads, because I'd never cooked en masse for people. I've never done that. I'd like cook for a lot of people, like at family barbecues and things like that, but never like on a Saturday night where people just want food. And that's how I got to know them. So kept in touch, obviously, ever since then, and they were following the things that I was doing online, like with pop-ups and the food stuff that I'm doing now, and the chef, Kim, is a Portuguese chef, and him and his wife were going on holiday, and they just said, "Do you want to come and do something? Do you want to do one of your pop-ups?" So I was like, "Yeah." I mentioned it to Dex. Said, "Do you fancy it?" He was like, "Yeah, we'd done a few before, all been successful. Touch wood that they carry on being that way."
Yeah.
Said, "Yeah, we'll give it a go." But I think the thing with this was it was a slightly different beast.
Yeah, this is different to the pop-ups that we've done previously, whereas we couldn't take the barbecues there.
No.
So we had to take the barbecue from home.
Yeah.
We had to figure out a way of hot holding it.
Yeah.
And then actually how we were going to deliver it, because on previous pop-ups it's coming straight off the barbecue and into the customer's hand. Whereas we had to figure out a different way and a different strategy.
Yeah. And it wasn't even just that. It was that, you know, we've got the hot holding cupboards, which is great, and they're just like, I think if you want to do this as a business, you need them.
You've got to have them.
But the kitchen at I Call Myself Sanchez literally is the size of a cubby hole. Yeah,
there was a room. There was no room for prep really. There was literally a small 2 meter run for serving basically,
and it wasn't even. It was probably about as deep as a chopping board.
Yeah,
by 2 meters. That was it. Because
300 by. I mean, it probably wasn't even 2 meters. You know, I bet you it was about 1.5, 1200.
It was tiny. It's tiny, but I mean, Kim's done an amazing job there. He's got that kitchen, and his menu is vast for what it is. And
does he do that on his own?
As a young lad who just does the window.
Yeah.
Takes the orders.
You could probably, you can see that would work.
You wouldn't get anyone else in. I mean, you had 2 fat blokes in there over the weekend and we were struggling.
We did.
we were to get past
I'm just here, Steve. I'm here.
Oh, that's just me.
I'm opening this door.
I know you far better than I knew you.
Yeah.
That's first. But yeah, so that was a thing that we had to overcome, and we literally had one of our hot holding cupboards on the sink because it was only it would fit, so it was on the sink, which was you being an electrician will tell us.
I was crying. I was like, I was shaking.
But it worked, and we made it work, and I think that's kind of half the battle is having things in a place, and when you come across problems is overcoming it and making it work, and the buzz you get from doing that.
So obviously that was the venue.
Yeah.
We then had to tailor our menu around it. Yeah. So we didn't do beef ribs, which we've done on our other pop-ups. We've done on every single pop-up we've done beef ribs, which always is well received and always goes down real well.
Yeah. Always sell out.
We always sell out. So due to the size of the racks of ribs and how trying to do it and smoking it at home, it just wasn't really feasible.
No.
So I mean, we still wanted to go with a beef dish.
Yeah, we still wanted beef. We still wanted the element of what we do, which is smoked and
So we went.
Cooked food.
Obviously, we went speaking to Liam at the catering butcher, and we went with. I've done feather blades in the past. I know it's in fashion at the moment on Instagram.
We did speak about brisket at first.
We did speak about brisket, but again, trying to get a couple of briskets on a Kamado Joe is it's just not really workable.
It's quite, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an unknown brisket.
Yeah.
Until you slice into it.
Yeah, with the UK brisket, it's you don't know, to be honest. It's some of them are lean, some of them are fatty. Mm. Yeah, it's too much. It's too risky on something like that.
I think the way we looked at it was, people. We advertised it way in advance. We put the menus out way in advance. So if people are expecting a certain dish, we want to make sure that it's going to be.
Yeah, look, we went with Featherblade, and it's all over Instagram at the moment. But the Matt Cross from Crossfire Cooking has been doing it for years, and I had it off him. I think I bought it at Sizzlefest about 3 years ago. Yeah. He cooked at Sizzlefest and done the feather blades, and I remember thinking like, these are as good as briskets. I know it's all in fashion at the moment, but I mean, I cooked one years ago,
I think there's a lot of benefits to them. They benefited us because we were.
I just like the fat seam in the middle because it just keeps it moist, and even when you slice, that fat seam sort of the fat comes across on the knife, so almost bastes the rest of the meat. As you sort of slice him through. Yeah. So, I mean, that was a good choice. Yep. We had to have a pork dish.
Yep.
For me, pork collar. It's easiest. It's easy. You can. It's dead forgiving. dead fatty.
Yeah.
You can smoke it.
Goes a long way.
And it's fairly reasonably priced.
You can. I think the thing with pork, it is reasonably priced. It's dare I say cheap. But what that means is that when you are doing your pulled pork dishes, they look mega. Yeah. You can put a lot on it. Like we actually had the pulled pork on 2 dishes. So we had which was like the pork dish, which is pulled pork with vinegar slaw, the mustard barbecue sauce,
which was banging,
from Firefly, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the really thinly sliced pickles with a little bit of chili on it, on a brioche, and they were just it was mega.
Yeah, I liked it.
Everyone loved it. We could have done something else with pork, but I always think if you speak to people, if you think about it, when you do a pop up like that in a place like that, 90% of the people that are coming and eating with you are probably not that used to what we call barbecue.
Yeah.
So they expect pulled pork, whereas we said it ourselves.
I mean, I hate doing pulled pork. I mean, I know we've got to do it, and I just think everyone's has said pulled pork is pulled pork. Like, there's not. It is what it is.
Yeah. But that was mega.
So again, that's the beef and that's the pork. We did chicken wings. So we did smoked and fried.
Cherry smoked chicken wings, yeah. So I smoked them on Thursday.
Yeah.
Cooked them through, so they were fully cooked.
Yeah.
Then chilled them. And then on the day, they were then deep fried
4 minutes,
order.
Was it?
About 4 minutes.
4 minutes, yeah.
Deep fried to order, and they were served with honey mustard sauce.
Yeah, with some chives on the top.
With some chives.
Yeah.
Really good. Sold out of them, I think.
We sold out pretty quickly, yeah.
They went.
Yeah.
And we had 10 kilos of them.
Yeah.
10 kilos gone. And people were still asking for them on Sunday.
And then we had the Charred Food Co. Sausage.
So the hot link.
Hot link.
I'm not going to drag out this story, but basically I went and spent the afternoon with Liam, like I said earlier, and I said to Liam, I want to create a hot link. We want to do hot links, but I want to create a hot link that is just us.
Yeah.
What Charred Food Co. is and what it does. I don't just want like a...
Because he does his own.
Yeah, he does his own.
And they're great, yeah. I like his own.
In our first pop-ups.
Yeah, we had them in the first
I said, I want something that is...
a bit different.
Ours. So it's our signature sausage that people are going to want to come back for. And he said, yeah, good idea. Send me the recipe. I sent him the recipe. And then he said, why don't you come
and do it?
And I'll show you how to make sausages. And I went, and it was great. And I did a reel on it. It's on Insta. He took the time, and we made a load of sausages. I took them home, and they were straight away. I kind of thought, I'm going to take these home now. I'm going to try them, and I'm going to have to tweak it. And it was like, I cooked them and tried them, and I was like,
no,
they're bang on.
And I just liked the way that we did it with like flavoured mayo, whole grain mustard. We had hot honey on top, and then served it with a flatbread. And who'd have thought like a hot link and a flatbread went so well?
Yeah.
I mean,
and pickle.
And pickles, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So we served it previously. We've served the sausage whole and let people have a knife.
Yeah, we sliced it this time.
We sliced it this time. So the sort of the thinking behind that is with the flatbreads, which we cut into small pieces, they could just grab the sausage or the flatbread, dip it in whichever sauce, and munch away, and it keeps your hands clean and not get sticky. But everyone loved them. Yeah,
we got loads of good feedback on that.
And they go down really well. They're really nice flavour as soon as they're in them, their pork and beef. And you get that little chili hit.
There's a bit of heat and cheese as well. I mean, I just really liked them, to be honest. Yeah. As I said, I smashed about 3 of them in on Saturday morning.
Yeah. Well, I smoked them with the wings on Thursday.
Yeah.
So they were all smoked, ice bathed, bagged up, kept refrigerated, and all brought with, and reheated to order on the hot plate.
We did smash burgers.
Again, I think we're in agreement, aren't we, with burgers?
Look, right, we've got to do burgers on these pop-ups because it's a staple. However, I don't want to do just burgers. No. The last thing I want to be doing is wasting my time cooking burgers because, all right, you can have a really nice blend of mince and have it, really seasoned well, and you can have a really good burger sauce and loads of plastic cheese and a brioche, but it doesn't really get much better than that for me.
With burgers, the way I look at it is, it didn't have to be us in there. That could have been anyone doing burgers.
It could have been anyone, yeah. So we did that. We did fried chicken sandos.
Really good. We also...
Again, they went down really well. And I love fried chicken sandos. Yeah. Like, for me, it's I went to London recently for work, and I stopped in at, I think it was Seven Dials.
Yeah.
And there's a chicken place in Seven Dials called Lucky's Chicken. Mm-hmm. And they do the Nashville hot chicken there. And they do it in a sando.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It was. They were really good. I didn't have one till the Sunday.
Yeah.
I was going to have one on the Friday, I just didn't. And then we was too busy on the Saturday, and then I had one on the Sunday, and I was like, it's no wonder people... The young lad behind the bar had 3. He had 3 of them.
Well, that is, to be fair though, that is down to the seasoning.
Yeah.
The seasoning is
absolutely
banging. Grace's Fried Chicken.
Grace's Fried Chicken.
So he's a nice bloke. Yeah. I got talking to him a few years ago. To be honest, it was my mum's husband again, really. Got me sort of interested and sort of shown me, oh, look at this is great, it's the real deal. And then I got talking to the guy and sort of met him. And yeah, he's sound. I mean, it's a great backstory, to be honest. His dad was like good mates with Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really believe it, to be honest, but I mean, he showed me all pictures, and I was like, he's actually telling the truth. But it's absolutely banging.
It's probably the nicest off the shelf.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Southern fried chicken.
Crispy.
Yeah, it ticks every box.
Yeah.
Really tasty.
It's better than KFC, that, mate. I think it's better than KFC.
I've got to think about KFC anyway. I don't think KFC's all that. I think it's pretty bland.
I don't like KFC anymore.
But that was banging.
I actually went recently, you know.
It's KFC.
I say recently. In the last year, I went and I got like a big Zinger burger. And I don't know why, but I think years ago I'd had one and I thought they were quite big. I got this measly little piece of chicken on this shit bun with a little bit of mayo. It was absolutely rubbish. Yeah, I couldn't believe how rubbish it was, to be honest.
Really tiny. The only thing I like at KFC is the hot wings. I do like the hot wings.
Yeah, okay.
But everything else I don't like. I remember I watched a programme not long ago about their chicken farms, and it just put me right off.
Yeah, I remember going to a football match in, it was Sheffield United away. Or was it Sheffield United? Or it might have been Rotherham away, but they played in Sheffield for a period of time while their stadium was getting developed. And I went to go into KFC, and as I went to go into KFC, there was one of these protesters outside with a load of pictures, and I just went, all right, I'm not going there. I just literally, I think I went Greg's or something on an away day. Yeah, I'm sure their standards would be miles better.
As long as the red tractors there, that's all right.
Yeah, oh yeah. So that was pretty much it, and then we did sides.
Well, what did we put on the sando? It's probably worth telling. So it was very similar to the pork.
It was similar to the pork, so we had like a
Asian style on it.
Well, it was like we had slaw.
So we had the vinaigrette slaw.
Vinegar slaw.
And then it
was like burger sauce.
Yeah.
It was like burger sauce.
Yeah,
they call it comeback sauce.
Yeah, comeback sauce, which is, it's basically like a burger sauce. It just has that nice little bit of tang, and then pickles again. But it was on a brioche loaf, so it was on slices of brioche instead of like a brioche.
Yeah, proper. Like, I mean, I love that. I just love the sando. I think it's so good.
Yeah, it is a really good sandwich, and again, everyone who had it loved it.
Yeah, I mean, and that was it really. We then from a sides point of view, we just did chips.
Chips and loaded chips.
We did seasoned chips, and then we did the loaded option as well with the nacho cheese, which is just plastic cheese.
On the Friday, the loaded fries was nacho cheese, a load of like all the garnishes like spring onion, red chilies, blah blah blah, with the coated chicken diced up on top.
Yeah.
And then on the Saturday and Sunday, it was the pulled pork.
Yeah.
Porky fries.
And
again, everyone...
Yeah, it went down real well. I mean, it did look great, a big mound of cheese and pork and all the different garnishes on top. It looked mega, mate. It did. I was sitting there thinking, I might just make myself one up, but I keep thinking, I'm here to make money, not to eat it all.
Well, we sold out of chips. We ended up having to sub chips.
We did, some sub chips.
Off the owners of the thing, because obviously
we literally sold out very, very early and had to probably sub more chips than we bought originally.
I think it was almost the same amount.
Was it?
I think it was almost the same amount, yeah.
So we got that wrong, really.
Yeah. But we were kind of in that mindset, weren't we, where we was like, I don't want to do burgers, I don't want to do chips, I want to do barbecue. But you do have to take a step back. You have to think, right, that's all well and good, but you also are doing this as a business. It's got to make money, and the fries and your burgers could end up being your bread and butter.
So, from a event prep, obviously you smoked the wings and the sausages prior, and then cooled them down, and we brought them back up to temperature, and then brine the thighs, and then on the Friday, I did 3 pork collars on the Kamado Joe. So I smoked them for about 6 hours, and when I was ready to wrap them, I wrapped them with butter, apple cider vinegar, and some apple juice.
Yeah.
And to be honest, because of like constraints of size, I just wrapped them, took them off, and just put them in the oven. Yeah. Because again, like once it's wrapped in foil, it makes no odds for it to be on a barbecue or not. It makes no difference.
Yeah, it's not taking any smoke.
And then I thought, great, right, I'm on track. We'll get the feather blades on. So I didn't realise that 5 feather blades on the Kamado Joe didn't really fit, to be honest. They were hanging off the edge of the grates and everything, especially with the slow roller in. I have got the extender that can sit on the top, but because the slow roller, I didn't try, to be honest, because I just thought, oh, whatever. But I'm not sure whether the slow roller and the grates and then the extender can fit. Right. It might have been a bit better if it did that. However, I just went for it and went all on the same level, all 5. Great, up until wrapping point. Yeah. So, they come up to 70 degrees after about 3 or 4 hours, and that would normally for me indicate how long it's going to be. So I was expecting 9-10 hours. Yeah. So 4 hours we went with a wrap. So we wrapped it in butcher's paper with some beef tallow, just beef dripping, tallow, whatever you want to call it, because Liam gave me a full sheet of tallow basically, which I just rendered down. Yeah. Rendered down in the oven just as the pork was cooking. I just rendered the fat down. Yeah. So I added the fat to the butcher's paper, wrapped them, and then straight back on the barbecue. I thought then that this is roughly about 7 o'clock. I thought, I'll be done by 12 and I'll go to bed. Got to about 12 and it was still the same. It was still at 70. I think it had got to about 80 degrees. And I thought, great, it's doing all right, but it's going to be a few hours. So I thought I'll go to bed, set my alarm for in 2 hours. I have got the Thermapen signals and billows. So I'm not worried about the temperature of the barbecue going up and down. However, by this point, the barbecue's been on for about 16 hours. Yeah. I was more worried about this sound not waking me up or the alerts not waking me up, and I didn't want to overcook them, for obvious reasons. So I set my alarm for like 2. Woke up at 2. Temperature had gone down. I was like, oh no, what's going on here? So I thought, right, okay, I'll go back to sleep for another hour. 3. Temperature had stayed the same, so it's actually gone down to like 75 degrees. Yeah. And then I set my alarm again for 4, and I thought, 4 o'clock, it's, I'm going this pop-up in a few hours.
And this is
at 75 degrees now.
This is bearing in mind that the barbecue has cooked the pork.
Yeah.
So you've done a full cook.
Well, I'm on 18 hours on this barbecue right now.
It's probably worth mentioning. We mentioned it in the last pod about the penny drop moment for me was
good charcoal. Well, I mean, 18 hours off a basket. 18
hours off a full basket is mega, and that's using.
It might have even been a bit more, to be honest. Yeah. But it was about between 18 and 19 hours. So 4 a.m. I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do here? Because I've got a pop up to do, and it's basically stalled for about 4 hours, and I'm sort of then thinking, then 4 hours it would have just been drying out. Yeah. So I'm like, right, get it off, straight into the oven. So the pork was already done and in the warming ovens anyway. So main oven, straight off, in a tray, straight in the oven, turn the oven up to about 135. So it's a little bit more because I've noticed that the temperature on the barbecue was just dropping off a little bit. It was getting like, I set it at 130 or 125 and it was now sitting at about 105. So it dropped a little bit. So I knew I was coming to the end of my charcoal. So other than going out there at 4 a.m. and starting filling the basket up again, I just thought it's had, at this point, it had 12 hours on the barbecue site.
And it's wrapped.
Yeah. So, again, it was wrapped in butcher's paper, so it would potentially still take on a little bit. However, after about 12 hours, I can't see it taking on anymore. No. So, straight in the oven. Again, went back to bed, 6 a.m. 2 hours later, it was done. Yeah. So, I was up at 6, putting them into the warming ovens. Again, I pulled them about 90 degrees, that was it. I know a lot of people do pull them a little bit earlier at like 88, but we did 90 because, to be honest, I've cooked them up to 96 and it's still been really good. But again, I think the resting time and in the warming ovens, that plays a part. So if we're going to put them in the warming ovens, I think we'd take them off at between 88 and 90. I think that's probably about the sweet spot. However, if I was doing it for myself at home and not resting, I would probably take it up a bit more. So again, I rung you and said, I don't know what we're going to do if these are dry.
I was just saying, it is what it is. We'll find out when we get there.
Yeah, so I mean, literally, as soon as we got there, I was like, right, we're slicing into one. Sliced into it, and it was absolutely banging.
If you look on the reels that we posted from that weekend, I think that there's a clip. That was the first one that we sliced. That
was the first one.
And it was just bang on. It was like the perfect colour, the perfect texture. It was moist.
Yeah.
It was banging.
It was really good.
Yeah, I think that put us at ease a little bit. And
from there, we had everything ready, and basically, as the orders come in, then we were just assembling. You know, we were cooking the chips. We blanched like a big tray of chips ready. So as soon as somebody come, you know, it was only 2 minutes more to actually redo the chips. And everything else, it was almost like we were toasting buns and assembling.
The longest thing was smash burgers.
Apart from the smash burgers.
And they took 2-3 minutes.
3 minutes, something like that. It wasn't too bad. So, the day then, for me, we had, everything was cooked, everything was prepped. I stood there and thought, right, we're sound. But I've been there before, obviously, where we thought we were absolutely prepped to the hilt, and then
we start drowning.
The onslaught come, and it was like, oh god. But I genuinely thought, right, we're prepped here. There's nothing more that we can do.
No.
And you know, from there we had a steady stream of customers.
We had like a couple of hours.
It was steady from say 12 till 3.
And then it just got mental.
And then 3 till 7 was absolutely mental, to be honest.
It was there was only one point in the whole weekend where it's like it's a vertical sliding window.
Hatch, isn't it, sort of thing?
Yeah, so it's like a French window type thing. So there was one point where I just put the hatch down and said, you know, close for 5 minutes because we were just.
But it was only 5 minutes though. It was literally, and we probably lost one order by doing that.
Yeah, I don't think we did because that fellow was sat outside waiting one in. I gave him some pulled pork on the house. I said, look, apologise. We were just. It was getting to the point where Deck was doing all the cooking and I was just taking orders. And I was thinking, I need to muck in. I need to do something here because otherwise, Deck's going to struggle to get all these tickets done. And it's not just that. Then if I'm at the window, we got to wrap everything. So it'll just end up building up. So I said, right, I made the call. I shut the window. And we just got on top of it. It took about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was just a bit of an influx. There was two big orders really.
Yeah.
So Wayne, from Alfresco decided. Wayne and Alfresco Chapel. I'll have the menu ×3, please. So shout out to Wayne.
Yeah, good man.
×3.
He nearly killed us. But no, it went really well. One thing we haven't mentioned, we've mentioned all the dishes, we didn't mention the veggie option. So the veggie option.
Sorry, I've completely forgot.
It's always the thing that we kind of like, we're at a loss because we're both.
Yeah, but we do. I do think we put a bit of thought into it, the veggie option.
I think every pop-up we've had, the veggie option has been bang on. We've done the Celeriac Big Macs, the Celery Macs.
I would eat that. Banging. I would eat that during the week, no problems.
Everyone loved them. We'd done the leeks and spring onion on a celeriac puree.
We did.
Which was really nice. Really nice. I had that at home. And then the one we did for this one was cauliflower steak on like a romesco sauce with...
Pesto.
Parmesan, nuts, and quick flash deep fried kale, which basically turns it into like crispy seaweed that you get from the Chinese. And it was just nice. It had loads of textures, loads of flavour. The cauliflower steaks were.
We got some good feedback as well.
Yeah, loved them. People loved that. But yeah, as I was saying, you've got to tick every box, and you've got to make sure that people feel like they're getting value for money. And to be fair, the veggie stuff that we've done, they've always prep wise been more.
Yeah, there's always been
time consuming than everything else.
I remember doing the Celeriac Big Macs. You have to bake them off first. Yeah. We then had to make the sauces. Yeah. And again, even on the day, we had to have a separate barbecue. We had a separate barbecue, which we were grilling them on. Yeah. We had to keep that barbecue up to temp throughout the whole day. So you're almost wasting charcoal for
4 or 5.
Yeah, and we were literally having 4 or 5. I mean, I understand we've got to do it, but
It's a faff.
It's a faff, you're right.
It's a faff. But yeah, I always, even though I do find it a faff, and I'm not going to lie, it does irritate me. Even though that's the case, I still want them to eat it and go, yeah, they've made an effort here. It's nice. And luckily, we've had that feedback.
So during the day, we got one bad review, I'd say.
Yeah.
It wasn't even say it's a bad review.
Because he said it tasted amazing.
Yeah, he just thought it could have been bigger.
And he had the beef.
Did he have the beef? I thought he had the pork.
No, he had the beef.
Well, I mean, I was up all night, mate.
Two nice big thick slices of feather blade.
I mean, I was up all night.
Well, this
is what they don't really understand.
This brings us into the sort of next thing, like how to work your pricing out for events. And general rule of thumb for anything that is food led is you want to times by 3. And the reason you want to times by 3 is because you want your profit, your costs, and all your overheads. So your overheads, we had to pay for that kitchen, even though they asked us. We had to pay for that kitchen because obviously we're using their electric, we're using their water, blah 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 blah. So whatever it costs you, it's times 3. And what people generally, I think, what I did at first, you need to count all the time that you put into it. So them days leading up to it where you're prepping all day. All Thursday, I was off Thursday prepping. And when I say all day, I mean I did the school run. Yeah. I was prepping that cauliflower at midnight on Thursday. Yeah. And making the romescu sauce at midnight. And if you're not...
There's always a day prep, you know.
At least a day prep.
There's always a day prep. Even plus if it's all the emails, spread out.
Plus all the ordering, plus all the shopping.
Yeah, we even met up before doing the pod to actually run through the pop-up.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. I think anyone who's thinking of doing it needs to be aware that it's a lot of work.
It's hard graft.
You've got to enjoy it. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it. So that's not. I'm not really doing it for the money as such. To be honest, I'm probably doing it because you asked me.
Listen,
I enjoy it as well.
I've always been of the mindset, and I don't feel embarrassed about saying, yes, I know it's not going to turn me into a millionaire. It's hard to make money doing this, but at the same time, I do want sort of paying for my time.
I was quite surprised. It's a skill. Like for me, I've never worked in a kitchen environment really. So to be honest, it was quite a good experience for me. Yeah. Actually working in a kitchen, and then I thought to myself after it, actually I could smash this in the kitchen. Yeah, yeah. If no one wants electrical stuff anymore.
Well, I've told you before, and I remember when I first decided to do this, and especially when I went to work at Linden Stores, which is like the fine dining restaurant, and people were like, "Ooh, stressful, working in the kitchen. Are you sure you want to do it? Are you sure you want to do it?" And I'm like, mate, you have no clue. Building science. I didn't
think it was stressful.
Building science is not for the.
It was busy. I thought it was busy, but I was never sat in there going, I'm really stressed. No. I thought it was busy. Yeah. And the key is to be organised. Yeah. If you're organised, it's fine.
And don't panic. Even at that time, just make a decision. So when we made a decision that we're going to close the window for 5 minutes.
Yeah, the only thing I would struggle with is sometimes with the amount of orders, I'm looking at the tickets thinking what. And instead of just focusing on one ticket, that's one thing that you've got to do. You've got to focus on that one ticket and then just get out of the way, and then you're on to the next one. But I'm sort of then looking 3 tickets back, seeing if I can toast all the buns for all of them. But that's probably just naivety and lack of experience in that environment.
In a bigger kitchen, that will come into play. You probably can go 6 or 7 tickets ahead of yourself because you've got the room. But in the kitchen that we had,
we didn't have the room.
We didn't have the room, so we couldn't toast off 10 buns and just have it because there was nowhere to put them. We were literally the buns and the burgers were coming off the hot plate, and I had the greaseproof paper that we were wrapping them in ready. They were going on the greaseproof paper. I was dressing them, folding them, serving them. There was no room to put anything, and this is the kind of thing that you've got to think about and you prep when you're organising whatever it is you're doing. If you're doing it outside, have you got enough tables? Have you got enough chopping boards? Have you got an area where you can wash your hands? You need to.
I found that a bit easier because I found that a bit easier that you could wash your hands. Yeah. That's the only thing. Again, any demos or any pop-ups, and you're doing it proper barbecue style. That's always it's always a bit of a nightmare. I hate not being able to wash my hands, and then you literally just go through boxes of gloves.
Boxes of gloves, which are expensive now.
Yeah, they are.
So yeah, you've got all that, and then probably the most important part of the organising is where you're going to get your stock from.
Yeah.
I think when you do something like this, I think it's quite easy to get to the point where you just have a bit of a brain fart and you think, I don't know what to do, I don't know what we should serve, I don't know what people are going to like. But having someone like Liam say, oh, you know what?
Why don't you do this?
You can say, you know, what's in season, what's good value at the minute, you know. Have you got people like your butchers, or for us, Liam, or your dad even, like they're used to working with people who caterers, restaurants. They'll go, oh, you know, you could use this and you could do that with it, because we bounce off each other a lot, and I think between us we're all right. But if I was ever doing it on my own, sometimes I do have a bit of I've got like an overactive mind. I'm sure I've got ADHD or something like that. My brain just never switches off, but sometimes it kind of, don't know, it bottlenecks and just nothing comes.
Yeah, well, for me, I draw on previous cooks and all these bits of barbecue festivals that I've been saying. I'm thinking of ideas all the time of what I've had previously, or what I've done previously, or when I've gone to a festival and I've seen this, but I just think I could make it a different way. Yeah. So I'm always sort of looking for innovation.
Our beef.
100%.
There's not. I mean, anyone who came to our event and had our beef and went to Sizzlefest and had the brisket that was there from Black Cactus, who were like amazing and smashing it. It's obvious that there's similarities. Like, we're not embarrassed to say that. If anything, they should take that as a compliment, because we took what they did and we fiddled with it because we didn't want to just like.
Yeah, we didn't do exactly the same, but it was similar.
It was that good that we thought.
I couldn't really make it much better. You know, we changed the beef.
Yeah.
We changed the beef, but I mean, I really like what they're doing at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I mean, don't ever be embarrassed by that as well. Don't ever think, oh, I can't do that because, you know, they're doing it. Like, that. A lot of these people, some of them are very, you know, they'll come up with these ideas, but a lot of people, they'll be getting inspiration from elsewhere and fiddling with things and toying with things, and that's what it's all about. And if someone said, oh, you know, I had that beef at the Charred Food Code takeover in Alta the other week and I've recreated it, oh man, I'd be buzzing about it. I'd be like, sound.
Yeah, well, my mum's husband has just messaged me before and said, I believe you're picking up a feather blade from. I believe you're picking a feather blade up tomorrow from the catering butcher. Can you pick me one up as well? Yeah. So, well, I say actually, can you pick me one up as well? He's pretty much said he's messaged him and already ordered it, and I just need to pick it up.
It's got off Liam.
He's got off Liam, yeah. So he's already sent him a message and got it, and he's got a feather blade put to one side. Yeah. So
I think the thing that I would say to people, we're going to. Like, come off now. I think we've covered a lot of the points, but the feather blade over brisket for me, I'll tell you what the pluses are. I think it tastes better. Now, I'm not saying feather blade tastes better than brisket, and that's like my full stop.
It's a cross, remember.
Obviously, if you get like American, more fatty briskets, that's a different conversation. But British brisket for me has never blew me away. That feather blade was banging.
It was a cross between a beef cheek and a brisket.
Yeah, it was so good.
So you got the jelly almost from the beef cheek.
Yeah.
But with the sort of almost texture of the brisket.
And the size of it as well. Like if you're
just manageable.
If you're a home barbecuer and you know you're the one that's into like briskets and pulled pork and on all this. And
but do you really want to go and drop yourself 100 quid? Do you want to drop 100 quid on a brisket, or just go and drop 20 quid on a feather?
Not only that, drop 100 quid on a brisket, cook it and eat like a fifth of it with your family, and then like, what am I going to do with the rest of this? Just get a feather blade.
Yeah.
You'll still have leftovers for your chilies.
And it is in fashion at the moment, everyone. Yeah. It's Insta fashion at the moment.
Yeah, it is Insta fashion.
It's in Insta fashion at the moment.
Loads of new names for it.
I've seen everyone doing it. So it's well Insta fashion at the moment.
But yeah, try it. Do try it. Let us know what you think. I mean, it's not a new thing. We've not come up with it. It's been around for a long time, and you know, it's just I think if I would much prefer to do feather blade for a meal at home, a barbecue, you know, invite a few friends over, then go to trouble. I said to you, I've got a brisket. I think it's like a Brazilian brisket. I think.
Yeah, it's a Sao Paulo one. Yeah. They did a deal on them. I got one and cooked it.
It's sat in my freezer. Like, and I keep thinking I need to take that out and defrost it and cook it. And then I think, if I defrost it, I've got to cook it. Who's going to eat it? There's like me who loves it, My kids are like, eh. And my wife's like, she'll eat it, but she's not a big eater, my missus. It's like, I'll end up with just loads of, it'd just be a waste.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I have loads in the freezer.
Yeah, so.
Freezer full of brisket.
I'll probably, do you know when that'll probably get cooked? Next summer when we're doing one of the lives.
Well, I mean, you could cook the brisket for one of the Christmas lives and just slice into it on the. But I mean, I'll cook it for you if you want, mate.
I'll probably do it.
No probs.
We'll try, we might even, who knows, if the pod takes off and it gets a bit of a following, we might even do like a...
Well, my dad's offered, he said, do you want to do a bit of a one of the pods, but actually do like deboning some chickens out on the pods and stuff like that. Go in the shack and debone a chicken or bone out a rib of beef. I mean, I'm up for boning out a rib of beef if he's bringing it for free.
Definitely, yeah. Well, we've got a few ideas we were talking about last night. About the things that we want to do, but
just let us know anything like that. If there's something that you fancy or want or think will be a good idea, let us know. We'll do it.
And if I can sort of work out how computers work and cameras and microphones, we might even be able to do it via Zoom and get people on as well, which would be cool.
Do you want to talk about the competition then?
Yeah, I think so. We are pretty over the moon with the fact that we're doing this now. We've spoke about it for ages and we've been sort of teasing
we've been saying it for ages that we're going to do it.
And it's been episode 1 got really well received. It was kind of sort of lost in a bit of a blur because we were working the weekend that it got released. So it has been really well received. I've had quite a few comments, which is nice. Keep commenting, by the way. Keep commenting on.
Just let us know what you think.
The Insta. But we got in touch with a few of our favourite people in and around the community. One of them, you've probably seen these sat here on the thing. So
Firefly
BBQ.
So we're going to do a big giveaway.
Yeah. None of these are ours, by the way. None of these are ours.
We're going to give away some of these.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So everything you see there is going to be given away, but it doesn't stop there. Are we going to tell them everything? You think?
I think so.
Okay. So
Carolina Reaper one here.
So as well as Noel at Firefly, one of the nicest men in barbecue, I've said it before. We've also been chatting to Steve from Alfresco Chapel. So Steve and Adam over at Alfresco. If you're in the north, if you're in the north, you definitely know who they are. If you're not in the north and you don't know who they are, give them a follow on Insta.
If you're passing through, I'd pop in. It's a great. Have you been there? It's like an old church. Yeah, I mean, it's called Alfresco Chapel because it's a chapel.
I got my Hellraiser fire pit from Steve. That's how I met him. But yeah, great guy. Just dead open, dead welcoming. And they do a lot for the community. They do a lot online. They're at all the events, and we've got a pretty good relationship with him. And he has donated something pretty cool. It's like a Yeti lunchbox size, cool bag. Awesome. Pretty high in value as well.
Yeah.
Not a cheap thing. So
it's
not only are you getting the sauces from Firefly, the rubs from Firefly, you've got a Yeti cooler lunchbox style thing for carrying all your little bits and bobs around.
Thermapen?
As well as that, Thermapen are getting involved.
Thermapen 1.
So you'll get a Thermapen 1, which is cool on its own.
Indeed.
But they said, we don't want to stop there. We like what you're doing. We're going to give you a Signals as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is basically, if you've not seen them, it's like a little grey box. Both me and Deck use them religiously. Yeah. And you can plug 4 probes into it, so you can cook 4 different meats, or you can have one as your ambient.
Connect it to your phone.
It's got an app on it.
You can get the fan attachment.
You can get the bellows attachment and attach it all to it, and it all just does everything there, throwing one of them in the bag. So up to now we've got sauces, rubs, the Yeti cooler, Thermapen, Signals,
charcoal,
2 bags of charcoal, 1 oak, 1 birch from Globaltic. They look after me a lot, and that's not the only reason I'm always screaming the name from the rooftops. I scream their name from the rooftops because it's an awesome product and I love their charcoal. It's what I've always used. I landed on that. I've never had a problem with it and I've stuck to it. I've not even tried any of those. Everyone said, oh, try this, try that. Why would I try it when I've got something?
Tried the best.
I've got something that works perfect and I've never had a problem with it. So why would I try anywhere else? They've donated and the big bags as well. So I think 25 kilos, is it? I think 25 kilos. So you're getting 50 kilos of high-grade charcoal from Globaltic, 1 bag of oak, 1 bag of birch.
Yeah.
And then
last but not least,
we are getting a voucher thrown in for...
Oobie
Oobie
Coolers. Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is yet because the fellow that I've been speaking to, the owner, he's on holiday, so he's going to come back. But he has messaged me and said he wants to get involved. He subscribed to the pod and yeah, he loves it. So that is a big prize.
I think it's a great
That is a big prize. I'm pretty jealous of whoever wins it, actually.
Yeah, so am I.
You're getting a load of rubs, a load of sauces, the signals, a Thermapen.
Well, I love spicy food, so I mean,
Yeah.
Carolina Reaper, it's right on my street.
The mega. When you taste them sauces, we actually used, was it this one at the weekend?
Yeah, well, yeah, we used that
Memphis?
one. Yeah, we used Memphis.
On the
yeah, we used Memphis.
This is like a really sweet barbecue. So it's awesome.
We've got loads of different ones. I want to try some of these, like Florida Cuban Mojo.
Yeah.
I fancy a bit of that. And it says here that you can mix it with orange and make a bit of a marinade.
Yeah. Well, I've seen someone using I can't remember if it was the Florida one or the Boston Beach, and they put it in with the chimichurri.
Oh.
I just left it for half an hour just to soak up all the things, and it apparently just elevates your chimichurri like mega.
I'll have to try that.
So that's a massive prize. We are very honoured for people to be getting involved and helping us out and backing us. So huge thanks to them. I'm going to put all the links to all their different sort of social media handles, websites and stuff in the show notes. So please go and check them out. But yeah, that's awesome. Sauces, rubs, a Yeti cooler thing, a discount code to get one of the Oobie Coolers, Thermapen, signals, and charcoal, all delivered. We'll get it all delivered to you. The charcoal will come direct from Globaltic. Everything else
come from us.
We'll post out to you. So it'll probably come in 2 batches. But if you want to know how to win that, you want to get over to our Instagram account, which is From the Shack Pod on Instagram. Give that a follow. Give mine and Dex accounts a follow as well. Mine is Charred Food Co. and Dex is Cheshire_Grill.
Yep. Cheshire Grill was obviously taken.
Cheshire Grill was taken.
Had to use an underscore.
Say about off you.
No, I think the actual real Cheshire Grill, which is a restaurant, is... No, they didn't even have it either. So.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so.
Well, I didn't want Charred Food Co. I just wanted Charred.
Did you not get it?
And I fact it's some woman in Texas. And she's got, and the only thing on the account, if I remember correctly, is like 2 pictures of like one's of a dog, one's of a, like grandkids. It's like some old lady in Texas. I did drop her a message saying, "Can I please have that handle, please?" She didn't get back to me. That's why I ended up with Charred Food Co. But I like it now. It sticks anyway. But yeah, go and give that a follow. We will be announcing how you're going to win. It's going to be the typical way, a post will go out, share, comment. And for every comment that you put on the post and every person that you tag will be an entry. Yeah. Dex, the technical guy, so he's going to work out how that works.
I'll be ringing Steve from Alfresco then, because I've seen him do a few.
And yeah, but it's going to be super cool. So it's not live yet, so don't worry, you're not going to miss out, and it's going to be running live
over the next week or two.
Over a period, so you're not going to miss out. But just make sure you're following that account if you want to be involved. Yeah. It's free to enter. It's literally a couple of taps on your screen or presses of buttons. But hopefully it will just get a bit of recognition for us, a bit of recognition for them brands that are getting involved. Not that they need it, but give all them a follow as well. So that's what's going to be coming soon. And I think we'll wrap it up there because it's been quite a long one this already.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
Anything we want to add?
No.
We're going to try and get another pod recorded before Deck goes away for half term. And we're looking for topics.
Yeah.
So give us a topic. It could be anything. Make sure it's something that we can, get juicy with it and get meaty with it and have a conversation that's going to take us half an hour.
Well, if anyone wants to be on the pod.
Yeah, guests. We're going to start booking guests in. So if you are, whatever it is you're doing, as long as it's something to do with the community, we're interested. Doesn't matter if you own a restaurant or if you do pop-ups or if you've got a product or whatever it is, or you're just on Insta and you just want to, grow what you're doing, or you're trying to do what we're doing and make a bit of a thing in this small bubble that we all take part in. Get in touch and we'll try and get you on the pod. If you're local to us, it could be in person, but we can do it via Zoom. If not, I'm sure that there's a way. I'll find out what buttons I have to press to do that. If you'd have seen me setting this up today.
Yeah. I'm just no help, to be honest. I'm just going to say it.
It's like my mum trying to send a text. I have a text conversation with my mum, right? And she'll text me like SMS, like text message, and I'll reply, and then she'll reply to my reply on WhatsApp, and then I'll reply, and then she'll reply to that reply on like Facebook Messenger, and it's like you're over all these different things.
Platforms.
And then there's like loads of emojis that she doesn't know what they mean. Loads of eggplant emojis coming out. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you again for listening. Go and give us a follow on Instagram. There is a YouTube channel, so if you want to watch these podcasts and you want to look at our pretty faces, then you can. And if you do go on YouTube, give that a subscribe as well. Is there anything else?
No.
Have we got a TikTok yet?
I'm not doing a TikTok.
I don't know if we've got a TikTok yet. I think we'll get it all there. We need to do all the stuff. But yeah, get in touch. If there's anything that you think we should be doing, we're all new to this. We're just two blokes trying to feel our way through podcasting. So yeah, but that's it from us then. Anything from you, Jack?
No, all good.
You just got it that we're giving all that stuff away, aren't you?
I am, mate. Yeah.
Never mind.
If anyone wants to donate me the Carolina Reaper up.
But yeah, big shout out to Noel at Firefly, Steve at Alfresco, Clint at Globaltic. Who have I missed? Thermapen.
Oobie.
And Oobie. Big shout out to those guys. And we'll see you in the next episode. See you later.